Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Diri Nashtukayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 1, questions by Vidura, text number 17 onwards. Sanirgata Kora Punyalabdho Gaja Vyat Padani Anvakramat Punya Chikir Shayovya Adhishtito Yani Sahasramurti. By his piety, Vidura achieved the advantages of the pious Kauravas. After leaving Hastinapur, he took shelter of many places of pilgrimages, which are the Lord's lotus feet. With the desire to gain a high order of pious life, he traveled to holy places where thousands of transcendental forms of the Lord are situated. So, the shloka says, after leaving Hastinapur, he took shelter of many places of pilgrimages, which are the Lord's lotus feet. So, why they are considered as Lord's lotus feet? Because all these places of pilgrimages, so many devotees stay there or keep going there. So, and devotees are always at the lotus feet of the Lord. Devotees always take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. That's why the places of pilgrimage are considered as Lord's lotus feet. Vidura was undoubtedly a highly elevated and pious soul, otherwise he would not have taken his birth in Kaura family. So otherwise he would not have taken his birth in the Kaura family. Means Kaura family, no matter how Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana were, it was very highly pious family. And obviously it was a family of kings. To have high parentage, to possess wealth, to be highly learned, and to have great personal beauty are all due to past pious acts. But such pious possessions are not sufficient for obtaining the grace of the Lord and being engaged in His transcendental loving service. In Kaura family, as we know, Krishna was their relative, and he would visit Hastinapur over and over again. So just imagine, it wasn't just an ordinary family, ordinary like kingly family. They were so closely related to Krishna also. Vidura considered himself less pious, and therefore he decided to travel to all the great places of pilgrimage in the world in order to achieve greater piety and advance nearer to the Lord. At that time, Lord Krishna was personally present in the world, and Vidura could have at once approached him directly, but he did not do so because he was not sufficiently freed from sin. Of course, he didn't have any sinful, but he was not sinful, but he himself thought that I'm not pure enough to go directly to Krishna. So that's why he decided to go to places of pilgrimage. One cannot be 100% devoted to the Lord unless and until he is completely free from all effects of sin. Vidura was conscious that by the association of the diplomatic Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, he had lost his piety and was therefore not fit to associate at once with the Lord. Of course, this is his humility. He was thinking like that. In fact, he had served and protected the devotees of the Lord, the Pandavas, so much that Krishna himself, when Krishna came as a peace messenger, Duryodhana invited him for dinner at his palace, but Krishna said, no, I'll go to Vidura's house. So just imagine the devotion of Vidura. And so much so that Vidurji wasn't home when Krishna came, and Vidurji's wife, she got in so much of ecstasy, she forgot everything, and she started feeding Krishna the peel of banana instead of the instead of pulp. She was out of love for Krishna. She was just completely forgot herself. And she was feeding him the peels of banana, skin of banana. And Krishna was eating it with so much of love, as if he was eating chapan bhog. He was tasting the love of wife of Vidura for himself. This is what Krishna is after. Anyway, persons who are sinful asuras like Kamsa and Jarasan cannot think of Lord Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. Only those who are pure devotees, those who follow the regulative principles of religious life, as prescribed in the scriptures, are able to engage themselves in Karma Yoga and then Jnana Yoga, and thereafter, by pure meditation, can understand pure consciousness. When God consciousness is developed, one can take advantage of the association of pure devotees. Syan Mahat Sevya Vipra, Punya Tirtha Nishevanath. One is able to associate with the Lord even during the existence of this life. So yesham tvantagatam papam. So when all our sinful activities are gone, then we can take shelter of Krishna, or we can think of associating with Krishna or his pure devotees. Of course, in the association of pure devotees, our sinful activities and propensities to commit sin also go away. That's a different story. But until that goes away, one cannot really take association with surrender, or cannot think of Krishna favorably also. Places of pilgrimages are meant for eradicating the sins of the pilgrims. So places of pilgrimages are meant for eradicating the sins of the pilgrims. That's why those places are there. Just like Kurukshetra, or you all are in Delhi. Delhi is where Krishna came so many times. Balramji came, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Nityanand Prabhu came, Prabhupada himself came, stayed there for so many years. So it's pretty much a place of pilgrimage. But this is meant for eradicating the sins of the pilgrims. So those who are there or who go to places of pilgrimage as a Tirthayatri. Tirthayatri means whose whole purpose is to clear himself of the results of the sins he has committed, and not to commit the sins again anymore. So it's a real advantage, a real purpose of the places of pilgrimage. Not like we go to Vrindavan. Of course, Vrindavan is not a place of pilgrimage; it's a dham where Krishna himself lives, and he has performed so many beautiful pastimes. But even if we consider place of pilgrimage like Vrindavan or Jagannath Puri or other Ayodhya, we should not go there in a mood to enjoy, in a mood to that, oh, we'll enjoy at Banke Bihari temple, we'll have that prasadam and we'll drink lassi here and we'll have samosa there. No, those places are for tapasya, for austerity, for service, for hearing. There's so many sadhus in those places. One should hear from them, and one should gain some good points that one can adopt in his life, so that his life becomes perfect. Places of pilgrimages are meant for eradicating the sins of the pilgrims, and they are distributed all over the universe, not just in India, all over the universe, just to give facility to all concerned for attaining pure existence and God realization. One should not be satisfied, however, merely by visiting the places of pilgrimage and performing one's prescribed duties. We should be eager to meet the great souls who are already there engaged in the service of the Lord. In each and every place of pilgrimage, the Lord is present in his various transcendental forms. So everywhere the Lord is present, just we have to be able to see him or serve him in such a way that he comes to see us. These forms are called archamurtis, or forms of the Lord which can be easily appreciated by the common man. The Lord is transcendental to our mundane senses. He cannot be seen with the present senses, nor can he be heard with the present ears. To the degree that we have entered into the service of the Lord, or to the proportion to which our lives are freed from sins, we can perceive the Lord. But even though we are not free from sins, the Lord is kind enough to allow us the facility of seeing him in his archa murtis in the temple. The Lord is all powerful, and therefore he is able to accept our service by presentation of his archa form. No one therefore should foolishly think the archa in the temple to be an idol. Such an archamurti is not an idol by the Lord himself, and to the proportion to which one is free from sins, he is able to know the significance of the archamurti. The guidance of a pure devotee is therefore always required. So the Lord is present in all those holy places in his archamurti form. Of course, he is present in his personal form also, but we are not pure enough to see that. So he is present there in the form of one of his material ingredients. Of course, that murti is not material, it's spiritual, but it has shown to us in the form of this material, um, either stone or brass or wood or whatever. But this is his kindness upon us, that even though we are not free from sin, but still he gives us darshan. He gives us a chance to serve his vigraha so that we can get purified. It's not for his um, that he wants our service. It's we who need that service to get purified. In the land of Bharatvarsha, there are many hundreds and thousands of places of pilgrimage distributed all over the country, and by traditional practice, the common man visits such holy places during all seasons of the year. Some of the archa representations of the Lord, situated in different places of pilgrimage, are mentioned herewith. The Lord is present at Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna, as Adikesha. The Lord is present at Puri, Odisha, as Lord Jagannath, also known as Purushottam. He is present at Allahabad, Prayag, as Bindu Madhav. At Mandir Hill, he is present as Madhusudan. In the Anandaranya, he is known as Vasudev, Padmanabh, and Janardhan. At Vishnu Kanchi, he is known as Vishnu, and at Mayapur, he is known as Hari. There are millions and billions of such archa forms of the Lord distributed all over the universe. All these archa murtis are summarized in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the following words. Sarvatra prakashatar bhakta sukha dite jagatera adharma nashi dharma sthapite. The Lord has so distributed himself all over the universe just to give pleasure to the devotees, to give the common man facility to eradicate his sins and to establish religious principles in the world. So this is the purpose of Krishna presenting himself as Archa Vigraha. So people have become so sinful and so ignorant in this Kali Yuga, they don't understand what this Archa Vigraha is. That's why even if you go to Som, there's hundreds and thousands of temples all over the world. And the pujaris, without understanding what is this Archa Vigraha, they don't serve the Lord. Or even the Archa Vigraha of demigods, Devi Devta, they don't serve them properly. And that's when sometimes Archa Vigraha, just like in Vrindavan, so many Muslim rulers, they came and they broke the temples, they broke the deities. So many places it happened. In fact, it just happened like a couple of days back in Chandni Chowk, one temple, all these Muslims, they went and they broke the deities. One has to understand what is an Archa Vigraha. It's not different from that personality. Shivling is not different from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva's, it's a representation of Lord Shiva. So one has to serve that Vigraha properly. And the Archa Vigraha is not different from that person, so it has all the potency. And if we are lacking in our service, that Vigraha, that they can allow somebody to come and, I mean, of course, this is, of course, a great sin on their part who broke the Vigraha. Of course, they will have their consequences later on. But also because they're not being taken care of properly, because they're not being served properly, the archer, because the deities, they make the arrangement that somebody comes and breaks the deities, so that the pujari, he doesn't commit more offenses. And talking about, like, somehow in the word in the purport, Prabhupada mentions about Lord Jagannath. So tomorrow on 3rd July is Gundicha Marjan in Jagannath Puri before the Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath, which is on 4th July. And this is what happens. And this Gundicha Marjan was a festival, or was a ceremony that was observed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he was there. Of course, this ceremony was being observed for millions of years since the Rath Yatra is going on. But Mahaprabhu, with his associates, with his servants, he went there with so much of enthusiasm and sincerity to serve Lord Jagannath. Because Lord Jagannath, when he comes to Gundicha temple and he stays there for 9 days, and that temple, Gundicha temple, is only populated during those 8, 9 days. That's it. Rest of the year, it's just empty temple. Nobody goes there. So the temple is not very well taken care of the rest of the year. So Mahaprabhu, understanding that Lord Jagannath himself will come tomorrow and stay here on this Ratna Singhasan, he wanted to clean the whole temple because Lord of the universe is coming after all. And along with his associates, he first cleansed the temple with brooms. Then he cleansed the temple with his cloth to take out the finer dust. And then everybody, they washed the whole temple. They brought the water from Indradam Sarovar, and they lined up, all the devotees lined up with hundreds and hundreds of pots. And Mahaprabhu was cleansing the whole temple with that water. And after cleansing the inside of the temple, they all came out and then they cleansed the courtyard of that temple. And that temple is a wonderful place. We have been there many times by Jagannath's mercy, and we have participated in Gundicha Marjan's ceremony over there also. But how we were cleaning, we were basically, I mean, there were so many people there, everybody was bringing the pot and the broom, and everybody was trying to clean, and everybody was hitting everybody else's feet with the brooms. And of course, we were also playing and throwing water everywhere and drinking Charnamrit also. But the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was different when he was serving. So that mood is what we have to adopt. And it is said that one who engages in cleansing the temple of the Lord, of course, in our house also, if the deities are there, that house is not different from the temple of the Lord, depending upon how sincerely we are serving the deities, what's our mentality, what's our consciousness. Our consciousness should be that this is the house of the Lord actually. This house belongs to the Lord. I'm just here as his servant. He has, he has put me here to take care of this house and the Lord. That's all my role is. Not that I'm the owner of the house and Lord is just a piece of wood or a piece of metal here. No, the house belongs to him. We also belong to him. So out of his mercy, he has allowed us to take care of the house. So similarly, the devotees living in the temple, of course, the temple is not their property. They know that, but that property, the whole temple belongs to the Lord. We are just his servants. That is the mood we have to develop. And actually, we are servants. Either we are serving Lord and his internal potency, or we are serving his external potency, Maya. Either way, we have to serve. So this Gundicha Marjan festival was organized to teach us how we should serve the Lord, how we should behave when we go to the temple, and cleansing of Gundicha temple also meant we are cleansing our own heart, the desires of our heart, to which make us think I'm the controller, I'm the proprietor, I'm the enjoyer. So the same mentality when we keep at home, having the deities at home and cleansing the temple and serving the deities, making bhoga for the deities, bathing the deities, changing their outfits, cleansing the temple, not just temple, the whole house when we cleanse, but in the mood that this temple belongs to the Lord. This house belongs to the Lord. So we get rid of that tendency to enjoy. We develop the tendency to serve. And that kind of house where the Lord is being served properly, that house is not different from Vaikuntha. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote that whenever he used to come home, because his wife was taking care of the house so nicely, taking care of the deities in the house and taking care of the family. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote that whenever I come home, I feel like I'm in Vaikuntha. So that mood has to be there. When we are working, we should consider that this work is given to me by the Lord. It's His mercy that He is engaging me in this job or business or whatever we do, so that I can make money. And even while at work, I remain Krishna conscious. I can preach at work, and I can, with the right consciousness, I carry on with my work. And when I come home, I take care of the house, I take care of the deities with that money that He has provided. So that's the right mentality. Vidurji had that mentality. Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana didn't. Yudhishthira Maharaj had that mentality. That's why Krishna orchestrated this whole war to put Yudhishthira Maharaj on the throne. If Yudhishthira Maharaj wasn't a pure devotee of the Lord, why would Krishna organize such a big war so that Yudhishthira Maharaj can be enthroned? And Yudhishthira Maharaj, of course, he ruled in such a way that during his rule, in his whole kingdom, there was no threefold miseries were not present there. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was completely devoted to the Lord, to his servants, to his devotees. And as soon as he heard that Krishna has wound up his pastimes, he has left, he immediately left the kingdom. He was not attached to the kingdom, he was attached to the service only. And not just Yudhishthira Maharaj, all the rest of the four brothers and Draupadi Maharani, they all went to Himalayas. They left everything. Means they were only attached with the Lord and His service. That's all. So that is the mood we have to do. And that is the real purpose of going to places of pilgrimage. Especially if you get a chance, or whenever you get a chance to go to Jagannath Puri, especially for Rath Yatra, Lord Jagannath clearly shows who's the boss. He clearly shows. Last year, we had, I think, 6 or 7 days of Jagannath Katha, and we had wonderful discussion on Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra also. So, Rath Yatra time, he clearly shows he is the boss. Without his permission, nothing can happen. Rath will not move if he doesn't want it to move, no matter how much we pull and push. So anyway, that is the purpose of the places of pilgrimage, and that should be the purpose of when we go to places of pilgrimage. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Sorry, I covered only one verse today. If you have any questions or comments.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I think Adit Prabhuji has asked some question on the chat.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. What is it, Aditya?
Prabhu, the question was like at home we don't perform pran pratishthan before setting up idols. Are they also considered as Vidura?
The real pran pratishtha is when we want to serve them, and when we are serving them, that pran
Okay.
pratishtha is done.
Okay.
That pran pratishtha is necessary for the temples because we want to show to the society that we have followed the rules and regulations of doing everything properly according to scriptures. Otherwise, the whole society will say, "Oh, they are making up their own system," which is not right. But at home, they are your personal deities. So when we are serving them, pran pratishtha is done. That's it.
Okay. And in ISKCON, I have seen like there are two set of idols. One are for why we are keeping two set at most of the temples. Any?
Yeah, bigger set of deities are called Achal deities. They don't move, and the smaller set is called Utsav Murti. So, like for Rath Yatra or for Shobha Yatra or for boat festival, the smaller deities they can come out. So they also represent the bigger deities, but bigger deities don't move; they don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Except Lord Jagannath. Jagannath is different.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to sit at one place. He likes to go around.
Very wonderful explanation, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, brother. Any other question or comment? So I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. And because for you it's Gundicha Martin Day, so at home if you can cleanse your temple, or if you can go to the temple and help in cleaning it, or if not ISKCON temple, any temple you can go and clean that temple. It will really have a very soothing effect to the heart. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Correct.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.